Hey.
You know, knocking first would have been nice.
Would you guys like to talk about a rare and obscure piece of hardware for the N64 that utterly doomed the system?
No.
Great!
What did I just say?
So who here knows about the N64? I said who here knows about the N64?
Not really.
Fuck it, good enough. The N64 was a console made by Nintendo in 1996. It had instant classics like Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64, and it had a dick on its controller. The console had relative success and is still fondly remembered today.
The N64 was doomed to fail the moment that Sony dropped the PlayStation. The PlayStation used CDs, which could store a larger amount of data. The N64 used carts, which couldn't store nearly as much data. The PlayStation had a wider variety of games and good third-party support, while the 64 chilled in the corner with Mario Party.
Well, it's a good thing Nintendo had an answer for all those problems, introducing the N64 disk drive. The solution to all of life's problems.
If that's the case, can I fry my chicken? The KFC console can.
Ask me a dumb fuck question like that again and I will serial kill you.
But I just want to know, can it fry my chicken?
I will serial kill you.
It's a legitimate question.
The N64DD was supposed to fix all of the problems with the N64. This peripheral would attach to the bottom of the N64 and allow it to use floppy disks for bigger games, give it an eternal clock, some additional power under the hood, expansions for pre-existing games, and even online. The hardware was announced at Space World of 1995 and was set to release in 1996 with titles like SimCity, The Legend of Zelda, a full-on sequel to Super Mario 64, and Polygon Maker. Needless to say, the lineup of games was helping this system come off as something unique and special.
Too bad it kept getting delayed.
Can you not be fucking negative for once?
Can you not kick down my door?
I believe Cam's right though. Yes, the system was announced in 1995 and set to release later in 96, but come May of 1997, the system would see its first of many launch delays. Now obviously, this hurt Nintendo and their partners.
Oh, it definitely hurt Nintendo. On June 18th, 1997, during E3, Nintendo didn't even have a prototype on display. Just Howard Lincoln promising developers and customers that the console will have internet connectivity, games like Donkey Kong 64, and it was set to release in 1998.
Absolutely none of this happened. The console was delayed further, resulting in most of its big exclusive titles being reworked into normal N64 games, but it at least promised expansions for the now-released Zelda and F0x alongside titles such as Fire Emblem 64, Mother 3, and Super Mario 64 2. In a December 1997 interview with Miyamoto and a Toy, Miyamoto stated almost every project on the N64 starts with the 64DD. We'll make a game on a cartridge first, and then add technology we cultivated to make it a full-on 64DD game.
So wait, if most projects started on the DD, why didn't they just have the 64 be the DD instead? That way the system already has all the bells and whistles, and nobody would have to buy two halves of the one console.
That's a good question. Answer: fuck you, it got delayed again. The North American release was delayed to late 1998, the Japanese release was set for June of 1998.
What about Europe?
What about Europe?
Shockingly, these delays weren't true, and the N64 DD was delayed into 1999. IGN even reportedly called it the Forgotten Visitor. At this point, nobody cared anymore. The system took far too long to release, and pretty much all of the games anticipated for it were either released via a cart or cancelled altogether.
I mean, we did get those games.
It doesn't matter if we got the games. The peripherals took so damn long to come out that nobody gave a shit about it anymore. 6th generation of consoles were either announced or released, and it wasn't even going to come out in North America anymore.
Yeah. The 64DD did end up releasing in late 1999 and was a total flop. It only sold 15,000 units. There were only 9 games released for the thing, and the rest were ported to the PlayStation or the GameCube. So what happened? In an interview with Hoshio Hongo, published by Digital Heroes, he had this to say: "For the N64 now, we've only reached 4 million units sold domestically. To sell dedicated hardware for the system at a decent pace, we'll need to reach 6 million units sold. Ultimately, selling more systems is our focus before hardware that expands on it."
So the failure of the DD can be attributed to the failure of the N64 itself.
What'd I tell ya? Doomed to fail.
So, what's left to talk about?
How about we go over some of the games? First up, we got the F0x Expansion Kit. This little gem adds new tracks, new cars, a car creator, track editor, and Rainbow Road's theme. The controls are identical to the original, which is fine, they were pretty good to begin with. All in all, the expansion kit gives the game more replay value and is easily the definitive way to experience the game.
Damn shame you suck at the game. We also got Doshan the Giant, a god simulator featuring this large Wallace.
Jeez!
It was made to show off the console's ability to remember changes in the environment. So if you were to raise or lower the ground, save and then come back, it would still be changed. Aside from that aspect, it's an alright game. You take care of small civilizations in hopes people will erect temples in your honor, or you could kill them all.
You have a problem.
There's also Mario Artist Polygon Maker, which is one of the 3 Mario Artist games released for the system. You can mess around with models the game provides to you, play weird WarioWare-style mini-games, create your own character models, and explore a small sandbox.
So it's basically Gmod?
I mean, yeah, a stripped-down version of it in some aspects.
SimCity made an appearance on the system. It's just a 3D version of the original game, but now you can go down to the streets and interact with the citizens. Or, you can just kill them all with a monster attack.
I have a problem.
Interestingly enough, Animal Crossing was supposed to debut on the N64 DD, using the system's internal clock for the in-game events. The game never made it to the DD for obvious reasons. Delays, stuff like that. Also, the game was inspired by Diablo. I'm not kidding. So, the 64 disk drive. Neat idea.
That unfortunately never got off the ground.
But overall, it was a pretty cool system.
Cam, you can actually say positive things?
Why'd the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Fuck you.